Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our two newly released books, Football, a Love Story, and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Let's start with some keys to victory for both teams in this ball game, and we're going to start with the Dallas Cowboys. It's about Prescott's preseason carryover. He had an outstanding preseason, outstanding offseason for that matter. Can he carry that over to the regular season, being efficient with his passes, taking off when he has to, protecting the football? If he can do that, the Cowboys can definitely stay on pace without Tony Romo. And second, it's getting early stops defensively. I think they can frustrate this Giants offense by getting those early stops defensively, puts these guys in backed up situations and allows them to break their own tendencies, which is, I think, is a win for the Dallas Cowboys. And I will say also defensively, it's about bracketing Odell Beckham. You want to force Eli Manning to go to other targets consistently throughout the ball game. And for the Giants in this ball game, you don't want to get too cute in the running game. We saw this in the preseason where the Giants were trying to do creative blocking up front to generate big plays on the ground. You don't have to do that. A lot of times you're just lining up and being a better player than the guy in front of you. So I wouldn't get too cute in the running game if I'm New York. Second, I would push the tempo early. I think the Giants operate better in a no-huddle, up-tempo offense, especially Eli Manning. And if they could do that early, especially versus a defense that's still trying to find their way along the defensive line, it bodes well for their chances. And also, defensively, stay in press mode throughout the game. I like the personnel the Giants have brought in the secondary. I think they can press on the corners and also allows that defensive line to get extra pressure. The safety play is going to be outstanding, I believe, this year with Landon Collins and the rookie Thompson from Boise State. So I would stay in press mode on the outside throughout the game and force Dak Prescott to be consistently accurate throwing the football. This week versus the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants will be facing a rookie quarterback and Dak Prescott. I'm going to show you how they can be well protected on the outside while also getting pressure while still protecting themselves versus Prescott, who does have the mobility to get outside of contain and make something happen with his legs. I'm going to show you how they can get contained pressure versus Prescott while forcing him to go down the sideline. That's why we have the cornerbacks locked in on the inside shoulders of the receivers. We want these guys to get outside release. Therefore, the Giants have the sidelines as their friend. So that's why you're aligned inside, forcing those guys out. So you're taking away the inside passing routes. And we have the tilted nose here with the defensive tackle. We're also going to have a tilted defensive end. And what we're going to get is a lot of pressure. We're going to send this strong safety. He's going to walk down as the cadence starts to wind down. He's blitzing on the outside. He has contained pressure, which allows these defensive ends and defensive tackles the ability to get more aggressive in their pass rushing lane. So we're going to have this defensive end crash hard on the outside. Now that puts this tackle in the bind. We're going to have this tilted nose work back across to the weak side A gap. Nose tackle here, his job is to push right upfield. Cock defensive end, we're going to call this a cock defensive end. His job is to get right outside, creating an opportunity for this linebacker to rush down that weak side B gap. So you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 guys coming weak side. Front side pressure, we're going to be manned up this backer. His job is to hold down Jason Witten. The linebacker's job is to shoot right through that strong side B gap. Free safety drops in the middle of the field, manned up on the outside. So now you see where Prescott can't escape out weak side. He can't escape out front side. Otherwise, he's going to run to the arms of a defensive end or a strong safety. And even if this guy vacates and runs a route, we have peel back protection with the strong safety. He can abandon blitz and go cover that guy. Same rules apply here. If he sees his back goes outside, he abandons his blitz and goes and chases that back. But either way, you're keeping Prescott contained in the pocket, forcing him to go down the sideline to those wide receivers. This will have to be an accurate throw each and every time. So the Giants can get pressure. You can't be afraid to blitz a mobile quarterback. You just have to be smart about it and make sure you're getting push instead of pressure and play contained on the outside. With the way they've adjusted their cornerbacks this offseason, they're going to play a lot of press. They're going to try to take away the inside routes and force Prescott to be consistently accurate throughout the ball game. The one unique thing you have when you have a mobile quarterback back there in the pocket, you dictate what a defense can do you. They don't show you certain coverages. They don't show you certain pressures because they're afraid of your mobility. And I think with the Dallas Cowboys this week versus the New York Giants with Prescott back there in the lineup, they can spread the field and dictate what the Giants do and also allow Prescott the advantage of being able to read what's going on and working with his receivers as far as them reading what's going on. So you're going to have this receiver read, we're going to have the tight end read, we're going to have this wide receiver here read as well, and we're reading the safety back deep. So what you have when you spread the field, when I'm talking about spreading the field, I'm talking about putting these receivers outside the number. So now these safeties will have to walk over and cover this alley, which again makes it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 7 advantage, 7 or 8, I'm sorry, with this guy here, the tailback, Ezekiel Elliott. So we have a handoff possibility where you can run it inside. You have that available with this offensive line. If this guy is a hero, if he chases, you pull, take off. If he stays, you hand the ball out to Ezekiel Elliott. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 6. You like those numbers. So you're reading the run game. Here, what you're reading, you're going to have this receiver work up, and it's up to him. He's reading coverage on the fly, and the reason why you spread the field is because you're going to give Dak Prescott time in the pocket. So depending on the coverage of the safety in the corner, he can run curl, come back, in, streak, post. So these guys can communicate based off what they see. They're going to see the same thing, and Prescott can get rid of the football. Now you have the tight end that can work up on that zone block if you're running the football with Ezekiel Elliott, and he's pushing straight up at that safety. And again, he's reading the safety. He can either keep it straight or break to the middle of the field, depending on what that safety does. So again, someone's going to have to account for the 11th guy, which is the quarterback that can move, which is why these safeties are in a bind. And what you're going to ask this guy here on the backside, reading the coverage, slant, streak, post. So again, when you have a guy that can take away the defense's advantage from a numbers perspective like Dak Prescott can, two things are going to happen. He's going to have his way with the secondary with zone defenses, and he can create opportunities in the running game for Ezekiel Elliott. So I do believe this week versus the New York Giants, spreading the field with the mobile quarterback gives Dak Prescott that comfort that he had at Mississippi State.
The biggest X factor in this ball game for the Giants will be their ability or inability to run the football. I think their ground game is going to be a huge question mark coming into the season. There's a bunch of backs in the backfield, but can they find that one guy, that bell cow guy, that can take some of the pressure off of the passing game? If they can do that, they'll not only win this game, but a lot more games for the rest of the season. And for the Dallas Cowboys, I look at the secondary being the biggest X factor. This was a much maligned group last season. Now they're healthy. They're 100%. Can they match up pound for pound, player for player with this Giants receiving core that features Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, the outstanding rookie, and Victor Cruz now healthy and 100%, and also the tight end. So you wonder if this secondary can match up versus this Giants passing game. If they can take away, I think, the most important part of this Giants offense, they'll win this ball game easily. I like the Giants in this ball game. I think this one will be another one of these close Giant Cowboy type games. I think the difference will be the Giants defense. Again, I think their defense will be vastly underrated by a lot of people. They're solid up front. Their linebackers, I think, are the most athletic group they've had in quite a while. And the secondary I'm very excited about as far as from corners to safeties. I think they can match up against anyone in the NFL. I think they will win this ball game in a close one. It will come down to which defense can make the stop, and at this point, I can trust the Giants defense.